Roman Reigns pulling double duty at WrestleMania, William Regal written off AEW, and MJF has something called the Triple B. All that and more on this episode of the Casual Wrestling Podcast.
Notorious. Big it up, big it up. Yep. Here in my face. Yeah. Here we go, go. Yeah. Here we go, go.
What is up, people? It is December 2nd. Lauren, these weeks are flying by.
Yes, they are.
It is crazy. We just, like last week was Thanksgiving. Then I feel like you blink and before you know, you don't even have time to put up Christmas decorations.
You don't. Sometimes you just leave your Halloween decorations up.
You do the clever thing of using Nightmare Before Christmas decorations so that way you can just roll right through into the next holiday. It's a little bit of
Disney.
It's a little bit of cheating, I'm gonna say, right? We gotta go Christmas shop. There's so much to do. I feel so busy.
Yes.
Yesterday I sat down. So I got up. I had all my notes ready for the show. I sat down. I hit the power button on the computer. It popped up. It needs an update, and it says 3 hours. And I just turned the screen off and walked away. And I was like, not today. We're not doing this today. And I just grabbed my phone and wrote on YouTube. Technical difficulties. Have a good Thursday. We'll be back tomorrow. I wasn't having it. It was nice to have a day off.
Yeah. Anybody miss you?
What?
Did anybody miss you?
I don't know. A couple people wrote some nice messages to me. That was nice. I'm not gonna lie. This doing a daily show it's been rewarding and fun, but it's hard. Like it is a lot of work.
Yeah.
To do this show. Your camera's off just a little bit. You move around a lot.
Sorry. I know.
But yeah, it's been a lot. You know, I completely just abandoned the WWE review show. I know I did it. I do it all the time. I get these aspirations to do like a million shows, but I didn't realize how much work doing a daily podcast was going to be.
Yeah.
Like the amount of it literally feels like I'm a one man band.
Yeah.
I'm a one man band.
Bit
Yeah. You have other responsibilities. So I have to put together the show notes, record the show, edit the show, cut up the clips, make the thumbnails, and by the time I'm done with that, it feels like I have to start getting the next show ready for the next day, which is, I love it. I'm not complaining. But there's just no time to do like other content right now.
Yeah.
Like there's not time to sit down and watch old wrestling matches and go, oh, we'll do that and we'll review it. I've just had to like scrap all those ideas and really put all my effort into what we're doing. Cause like this channel, I mean, it's insane if you think about it, right? Like, we started from zero.
Yeah.
With no wrestling following. We originally we were doing video game content.
Mm-hmm.
We were trying to do a video game channel. And the people didn't like that I said fuck a lot in video games.
Yeah.
It was a problem. So,
or they would get mad because you'd get frustrated with me.
yeah. The video game audience is definitely not my audience. While I like to play video games, they're not my audience. Wrestling accepted me wholeheartedly. And so it's been fun, but it's been 100% organic. We haven't paid for any views like I know a lot of people out there do. It's quite obvious to me after all of the YouTube classes and podcasting classes and audio classes that I've taken and social media classes, it becomes like blatantly obvious which creators are paying for their followers versus like who has organic growth, right? Because the comment thing is always, well, your channel only has 2,000 followers. And it's like, if you've ever tried to grow a channel that is not a viral, wrestling's not a viral topic.
No.
Especially when it's a podcast. It's not content. I'm not making like wrestling videos. I'm making a wrestling podcast. So to grow that, it's going to take time, and our growth has been great and organic. But like you can see people who jump from like 10,000 followers one day to 20,000 the next day. You go, oh, how is that paying for followers working out? Like that, because that's what's going on. But like, the only other content I've like kicked around with doing is possibly, I thought about like putting together some kind of course on how to do a podcast starting from like really from zero. Cause everybody who makes those like YouTube courses, it's all the same bullshit, right? It's like, just make good content. That doesn't work. I've tried just putting out good content, and if nobody's listening, nobody's listening. But like,
find your niche.
They don't tell you like they don't tell you like, don't go buy the best camera day one.
Yeah.
Don't go buy the best. There are steps you can take to get a podcast. Because I believe, like, maybe this is my ego kicking in, but I don't think there's many podcasts in the world that look better than what I do. And most of them are manned by like 10 to 15 man teams. And I'm doing this one person, in a studio. So like, I think I could teach this. I now have this down to a method where I could teach like how to make podcast notes. So like, if I think that's a thing that eventually, not right now, I don't have time right now, but eventually I think I might get into that. I was telling you earlier, I was kicking around some designs for some hoodies.
Yeah.
Cause I'm wearing this same hoodie like on every show. And people are going to start thinking that I wear the same thing, but it's cold in here. Yeah. So I throw this on, I keep it next to my desk and I throw it on every time I record. And I don't think, like, I go look at the thumbnails and I'm like, I'm literally wearing the same hoodie. And I have my beanie right here as well, right? And so I'm like, I look the same and people probably think I don't wear, but I actually have different shirts on that are underneath that I go into. But I'm going to make some casual wrestling hoodies with the word casual across them. And I've just got to figure out if I'm going to make them, if I'm going to do all the production, which I don't think I have time for, or if I'm going to find a print on demand company to produce those so that we can also sell some.
Yeah. I want one.
All right, let's get into this, Lauren. Let's talk. We got another week of wrestling to talk about here. Let's start with talking about some Monday Night Raw stuff.
Okay.
So Becky Lynch opened up Monday Night Raw, and after last week, after War Games, I was a little critical and said Triple H is going back to the well. He's Becky got the pin, Becky got the win, Becky got to the big moment at Survivor Series, and I was a little critical of that. I was like, hey, we're doing the same thing over and over. But like, Becky Lynch is so fucking over with the crowd.
Because she's fucking amazing.
And I agree. And so like that's kind of the thing I wanted to hit on here was women's wrestling is interesting because there are not clear-cut favorites. Everybody kind of, if you ask 100 people who the best women's wrestler is, you're probably going to get at least 30 different answers.
I could see that.
You're going to get a certain amount of people who go Charlotte Flair. Mm-hmm. You're going to get a certain amount of people who just are going to pick someone, either, Britt Baker or Jade Cargill, even though that seems to be unpopular in a lot of circles. But I think Britt Baker is one of the best.
Oh, I
don't want to fucking argue this again. I don't, everybody wants to come at me when I say that, but as far as like from a casual wrestling perspective, Britt Baker is good at what she does. Mm-hmm. You're going to have Sasha Banks thrown into some people's conversations, but then you're going to have people who will tell you that Sasha Banks is garbage, right? And then you have Becky Lynch. And then you're going to have the fucking weirdos who are going to tell you all about these Japan wrestlers, which that's not a conversation I'm even going to entertain. But Becky Lynch is over. And as far as I'm concerned, from my point of view, it's between her and Charlotte for who is the best. And I think when you factor in like promo ability, it's got to be Becky Lynch. Like from my point of view, it has to be Becky Lynch. Nobody is better all the way around.
Best? Are you saying like wrestling skills, promotions, all that stuff?
When I speak on best, I'm speaking on the all-encompassing thing that makes a sports entertainer. I'm not talking about just wrestling in a ring. I just don't care enough about that to go, you're the best at what you do, because that's like a quarterback who could throw the ball really, 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 really hard, but he can't fucking hit an open receiver, right? It's not a skill. Like you have to have multiple skill sets.
Yeah.
In order to be a successful quarterback, just like you have to have multiple skill sets in order to be a professional wrestler or a sports entertainer, whatever the fuck you want to call them, you have to have it, right? Her ability to go into the crowd and work the crowd, because that was, I said that this week, but I don't know if you noticed, that was by design. Monday Night Raw had a very, very interesting design that they added in, and that was crowd interaction, because the last couple weeks, they have struggled to get that crowd involved. So you immediately go out there and Becky Lynch goes straight into the crowd, and now it's like, do I have your attention? And she involves fucking some guy named Bobby, who, shout out to Bobby, because...
Dude, his life just got amazing.
Not just that. Well, I don't know about that. That's 10 minutes of fame, and nobody... Still. I couldn't tell you who Bobby was after that. Like, if I was walking down the street, I don't know who Bobby is. I don't think anybody's remember. Bobby got his 10 minutes, and shout out to Bobby. Bigger point here, Lauren.
Okay.
Bigger point here. Becky Lynch played a dangerous game on Monday Night Raw. When you hand that microphone to a fan and you give them the opportunity on national TV to just say anything they want, and Bobby killed it. He just, said something like, I want you to go kick her butt. You're not getting that from me.
Yeah.
Fuck her up! Kick her ass! You're getting that. If it's you, I'm even more worried because they might put a microphone in front of you and you just go penis. And it's like, oh fuck, what just happened on Monday Night Raw?
Yeah.
Like, man, I thought that was cool. I mean, but
there would
that
be
was
a few choice words coming out of my mouth.
I agree. It's scary. They can't put a microphone in front of you. That was all by design. The Street Profits,
see things that like I don't even see. Like I was just like, oh my god, this is so awesome.
But that's what it was, right? They've been having trouble keeping the crowd interested. And so if you look at 3 points of Monday Night Raw, they entered into the crowd. There was the Becky Lynch promo.
Yeah.
The Street Profits, instead of entering down the ramp, they jumped the barricade and went through the crowd because they have an energy. And you're about midway through the show.
And it brings everybody
and
up.
Everybody's back involved because here comes the Street Profits. They're not supposed to do that, right? They don't do it. They're back. Boom. Energy, right? Then strategically, a little later in the show, Dexter Lumis and The Miz is a no rules match. And they go over the barricade at some point and fight in the crowd for a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's all to keep the crowd interaction going.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that to me, that was, but Becky Lynch was the right person if you're starting the show and you want to get the energy up. Now, I will say that Becky Lynch and Bayley is going to be a fun little snack that leads us to Royal Rumble. I said that Triple H was going to have to get tricky with the booking for the next 9 weeks. That's fun. The fighting in the concession area or the
I thought that was so cool. The merchandise
that was
area.
awesome, man. Got me some good fantasy points.
I know.
I think every item that Becky Lynch threw at Bayley and Dakota Kai,
Counted.
I got points. It was like,
man.
that briefcase, that's one. The lunchbox, that's one. The stuffed animal, that's one. So I got good points. I'm actually coming up in the world of fantasy, which we'll talk about.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that right now.
But yeah. What else happened? Judgment Day versus OC. So we got the match this is the match we should have got at War Games. I don't know. I don't understand the booking on this, but I'm not going to actually complain about this because we got 2 good matches.
Yeah.
We got the one-on-one match was a solid match at War Games. And then the match that I thought we should have got in a traditional Survivor Series match, we got on Monday Night Raw. So there was nothing wrong with that. I do have to give a small update because as much as I hate on Dominic Mysterio, I have to give credit where credit is due.
Oh, no. What's going on here?
So last week, I told you about the video where Dominic and Rhea showed up at Ray's house and they beat him up during Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that was cool.
Now, come to find out, Dominic has said that he beat Ray up because Ray had a Christmas tree up pre-Thanksgiving. Now, anybody around here knows.
That's what Mexicans do, Dustin.
So anybody around here knows that I have a strict no Christmas policy.
You do.
You have to respect the turkey.
You do.
You have to respect the turkey. You cannot skip. There is this weird phenomenon. And I don't know if it's after COVID, everybody being fucking cooped up. Maybe this has been going longer and I just didn't realize it. But like there's this phenomenon that when Halloween ends, there's this strange group of people who immediately want to go put their Christmas lights up and start decorating Christmas. And they just forget that there's a whole month called November.
You put pumpkins out in the front of your house, but inside you decorate for Christmas so that when everybody comes over for Thanksgiving, it feels like the holidays.
Nah, that's not, no. You start
it's
decorating.
It's what Mexicans do, Dustin.
I
don't do it because I don't decorate.
I can't speak on that, but what I can speak on is your Christmas tree doesn't go up until Black Friday.
Nah.
So the day after Thanksgiving, you can go into your storage, get your Christmas stuff out, and start decorating. If you decorate before Thanksgiving, if you put Christmas decorations up before you're a fucking psychopath. I mean, there's just something wrong. It's disrespectful.
We always had.
It is disrespectful to Thanksgiving. It is disrespectful to the Pilgrims, to the Indians, to the turkeys, to the mashed potatoes. It's disrespectful to all of that.
I guess I just circumvented all, put up Nightmare Before Christmas, and I'm covered.
That doesn't cover you on Thanksgiving. That's bullshit.
My mom
That's
used
fake.
to put up her Christmas tree like second week of November. Okay. And then we would leave it up till like January 14th.
But there's so much wrong with that. If your Christmas lights are on after New Year's, you're a problem
That's
too.
what they leave it up to like January 14th.
I'm not okay with that, man.
It happens.
What were we talking? Oh, we were talking about Rhea Ripley and the OC.
Wait, is it Rhea? Is it Rhea?
It's Rhea. I keep saying Rhea.
Rhea,
But I think
yeah.
it's because I have Rey Mysterio written down on my
Rhea.
notes, and I'm saying.
But I've heard people say it both ways. So.
I think it's Rhea Ripley. I don't know.
I call
I'm
her
gonna say Rhea. The last thing I'll say about that match, now that I've gotten all talk, Mia Yim or Meechin or whatever was supposed to be the solution to Rhea Ripley. All I've seen is her get her ass whipped these last couple matches in War Games and in this team.
I also don't like that they like have 7 different names for her.
It's a little confusing.
It's very
I'm not
confusing.
gonna lie. It's a little. Also because they're like weirdly similar, like Mia Yim and Mi Jin.
Yeah.
It's like, let's pick one and let's go with it. And whatever it is, I don't really care. I'll go with it, but let's pick one.
Or even if they just call her like Mia Yim, the Meechim or something. Because I know like Meechim is supposed to mean like crazy bitch or something, right?
It's crazy. I don't know. You keep saying bitch. I don't think it's
I just
bitch.
want to
It's
throw the
just
bitch in there,
crazy.
like crazy bitch.
I think it's crazy
So.
in either Japanese or Korean or something like that.
Yeah.
What else happened on Monday night? Oh, Theory and Seth Rollins. People are clamoring over this whole Theory and Seth Rollins things. I'm still not sold. Like the newness, to me, this is like a new relationship, right? There's butterflies. People are excited. It's something different, but I'm still not sold that long term this is going to pay off the way people want it to pay off. Like, number one, Theory has zero personality. He's just kind of grumpy and he's cocky. And the weird thing is when he talks, there is still remnants of that old character ingrained inside of him. And he almost slides out of the new character back into the old and then catches himself and slides back into that new character. And to me, I don't understand why we couldn't have both of these, why we couldn't keep all of that personality with the cell phone and the douchebaggery, but also build him up to be a tough heel. One thing that I see happening in WWE with Triple H is he's overcorrecting character in the sense of like, we're basically going to have a bunch of guys who just have the same personality, right? They're either, you're very typecasted right now. You're either a kind of intense guy who's getting a push, or you're a very heavily comedic guy like the Alpha Academy now, who is just there to fill a role and help other people. We're not, the lines aren't, we're not getting like the douchebag. We're not getting this spectrum of characters that we used to have. And to me, it rips the personality out of the show. I think there's quite a few characters right now on Monday Night Raw who are in identity crisis.
Yeah.
I think Becky Lynch is in a slight, even though Becky Lynch is over, I foresee moving forward, she's right now kind of working 3 nicknames.
Yeah.
So she's still kind of portraying big time Bex with the
outfits and stuff.
exuberant outfits and things like that. Her intro says the man, which is supposed to be the more serious kind of battle hardened Becky Lynch. And then her new t-shirt says box office Bex. So that's a whole new name. So to me, that's a little bit like, you got to get that straightened out because the messaging can get funny, right? Then you have, I think, Austin Theory, who has a little bit of a branding problem because I get it. Hardcore wrestling fans, they just want this, like, this guy's solid. He's intense. But I think casual fans, we watch for that, like, I don't like that guy because he's a douchebag.
Yes. I like the characters.
And instead, now you have Rollins versus Theory, and I'm not sure. I have a hard time picking a side, right now, I will tell you I'm on Austin Theory's side.
Really?
If any grown ass fucking man comes out to the ring in a lace fucking suit, I can't get behind that. Like he's either going into Becky's closet and picking clothes, or he's just stepped over to the fucking other side. And I don't get it. I said it in the tier maker video. Like, Seth Rollins, normally, if I was ranking him on where I could fight him, I think it'd be an even fight. But no man in lace can beat me up. It's just not happening.
I'll take it.
The minute that man puts on lace, I'm whooping his ass. It's not, there's no chance. I don't know. So, and I don't like, talking about identity crisis. Seth Rollins that shit worked when he was this big time kind of mischievous, devious heel. But as a babyface, it's just
kind of weird.
Fucking a little weird. It's a little awkward. I don't know. Like, to me, that on paper, Theory versus Rollins should work flawlessly. But because of some of these character tropes that they're creating, they're blurring these lines, but not in a positive. It's not blurring the lines in like, oh, this feels real. It's blurring the lines in like, Seth Rollins is this way over the top character who dresses really weird and has a really weird laugh, but now he's a good guy and he does good guy things. And Theory, who used to be the good bad guy with the douchebag mentality and all that stuff, he's now acting more respectable. How do I build? I don't get, like, it's for a casual fan, it's supposed to be easy, right? It's supposed to be Superman and Lex Luthor. I'm supposed to see the good guy and I'm supposed to see the bad guy. And I can make my mind up. I can choose. Some people like to cheer for the bad guy, right? The Joker. Some people like to cheer for Batman. But right now, I like some of these things look like a mess. One thing I don't think is a mess, though, was the main event. They finally got, it's been a while since Monday Night Raw had a main event that I go, that's a main event. And we got Kevin Owens and Jey Uso. Jey Uso is clearly the favorite Uso of the WWE right now.
Yeah.
I mean, Jimmy just kind of hangs out. Jey is the guy. I mean, he's got like a broken hand and he's still going out there and putting on fucking fire matches. So I think, that to me, he's the favorite Uso. But that's what a main event's supposed to be, guys. That's what a main event's supposed to look like. It's supposed to be.
It was a good show.
You're supposed to be excited when the show closes. And this is no offense to Asuka and Alexa Bliss and Damage Control and Bianca Belair. They just weren't doing it. When they were closing out the show the last couple weeks, the show would end and I'd be like, oh, that's it. That's where it, like, it wasn't it never felt, I've always said, and maybe this is just me, AEW is fucking horrible about this. But to me, a wrestling show is supposed to be like a fireworks show.
Okay.
It's supposed to climax at the end. Mm-hmm. And it's supposed to be big, and then you go home and you go, that last thing that happened was the most exciting thing. And it's felt like for the last couple of weeks that Monday Night Raw has kind of been a roller coaster, right? You've gotten some high moments, then you get some low moments, and you get some high moments, and you get some low moments. And AEW every week feels like a fucking pinball machine.
I never know what the fuck is going on.
It's a pinball machine. Like, I just literally feel like they go, like they have an app on their phone and they put all the matches in and they go shuffle. And it's just, hey, guess what? You guys are last tonight. Your show should always end. Like, I still believe that MJF should close out the show every week on AEW. He's the champion. Even if it's talking and he's not going to wrestle, cut a promo, have it end, or have him somewhere near the end of the show.
Yeah.
And I get, like, there's time slots and like 10 o'clock hour and 11 o'clock hour. But, like, to me, the way wrestling shows should be built is just almost like I know a movie is a little different, right? Because a movie goes and then it climaxes and then it comes back down and it resolves. Wrestling is supposed to kind of just cut off so that you want to watch it again next week.
I agree.
And so I felt like that's what we got this last week on Monday Night Raw. It finally felt like that. Speaking of MJF, let's talk about Dynamite. So Moxley cut a promo to start the show. Moxley's good. He's not the best in the world like he claims to be. I don't even think, to me, that's not. There's a lot I don't desire about Moxley. I feel like his character is based too much on like not giving a fuck when he actually gives a fuck. It's a weird, that's another little bit of like identity crisis to me from a casual point. This is from a casual fan's point of view. I get, if you're a hardcore fan, you're probably eating that shit up. But one thing I have to ask. Okay. Serious fucking question. This isn't me. All right, so I'm being about 20% condescending when I say this, okay? It's not me I'm not trying to be an asshole. Why do people like Hangman Adam Page?
Oh, I don't know. He looks like a fat cowboy to me. I know that's really mean because he's really not that fat.
Is there like an inside joke that I'm missing? Is there like, why do people like Hangman Adam Page? I don't know. He just rubs me the wrong way. So it's like he has a gimmick, but the gimmick is like California cowboy. He wears pants with fringe on them. He doesn't look like a guy he doesn't look like a guy who could fight to me.
Because you could do cowboy without all that extra stuff.
Or you could just not do cowboy. I mean, unless you're really a cowboy, like Yellowstone style cowboy, like bad motherfucker that'll whoop your ass on the ranch is okay.
A rip wrestler.
But like Hangman is like, he looks like a Las Vegas cowboy.
You know what he looks like?
What?
Those clowns at the rodeo.
Yes.
That's what he reminds me of.
100%. I can see that. He does look like a rodeo clown. I know
like
that
a fancy rodeo clown.
I've been told multiple times that like it's his journey, it's the things he's been through. But I'm like,
but if you don't know his journey, then what does it matter?
That's exactly right. Once again, like everything I say is from a casual perspective, and what I'm saying is, if I haven't watched AEW since day one, how am I? There has to be entry points into wrestling, right?
Yeah.
And everything can't rely on, well, you got to go back and watch 3 years of AEW to understand who Hangman Adam Page is. Well, then he's never going to be a big deal. He's never going to be over with the casual audience. And that's kind of like, you know, what you just said. Why am I supposed to like him now? Because now when he runs out there and he kind of looks like you said, a rodeo clown, I go, that's the good guy? Oh shit, he's about to get beat up by Moxley, because Moxley looks like a
like
fucking
a bad
crazy
guy
person.
Fuck you up.
Yeah. And what's funny is Skylar asked me, is Moxley a heel or is Moxley a face?
What is he?
The crowd loves him. I like
him because I know who he is.
I think he's a guy who straddles the line, but I think he's working heel and the crowd just likes him. But that's, you know, once again, to me, these new wrestling like Tony Khan and Triple H, they overcomplicate. Wrestling has always been just, there's a bad guy, there's a good guy, and you turn on your TV and you can tell
who they are.
I get like this IWC bullshit that they want, like this integral storytelling and this real deep, but like you got to understand at some point grandma's turning the TV on, and when grandma turns the TV on, she wants fucking Superman versus Lex Luthor. You want to see Hulk Hogan. And we don't have to use the stereotypes of like American and Russian anymore, but I do want to be able to differentiate. This guy's good. This guy does good things, and this guy's bad, and this guy does bad things. And I think both companies have this problem right now. They're both hipster is the word I use. Like, I think all these wrestling people want to be too fucking clever.
You can make things too complicated, and then it loses its meaning.
And what's funny is that's going to lead me into like, I did a topic this week about FTR and not understanding. And so FTR is that like stripped down, just straight up wrestling, except that you still have to me, have personality. Like we got Bryan Danielson versus Dax Hardwood this week. And like the internet lost their shit. And I was just like, cool. It was a match that happened. Yeah. I don't understand what I was supposed to be so excited for. It was a solid wrestling match, but it was the epitome of a wrestling match. It had zero entertainment.
Yeah, you told me, I watched you talking about it, and I was just like, who the fuck is FTR?
Yeah, I mean.
And then when we saw them, I was like, oh, okay.
And I'm not knocking.
They weren't bad.
So that's exactly right. Like, I can appreciate FTR.
Just not interesting.
I wouldn't even say interesting. I can appreciate FTR for everything that everybody goes, this is why they're so good. I see all that, but I guess those numbers don't add up to me. Mm-hmm. Because I guess when I watch wrestling, I have a different set of statistics to building a wrestler, right? Charisma, look, all of those things play a very heavy part with me rounding out who I like in a wrestler. Whereas I think some people just go, it's wrestling. It's all about the flipping and I know they don't flip, but like the mechanics of professional wrestling. And I just disagree. I don't think that mechanics are as important. It's why I can place someone like Britt Baker so high on a list. And like, here's the issue. Because now that we know wrestlers do hear what I say, I'd like to clear this up. I don't fucking know if Britt Baker can wrestle or not. My eyes aren't trained to break down the technical nuances of what Britt Baker is doing. All I know is that when Britt Baker is in the ring, I'm fucking entertained. Mm-hmm. From the minute she's on till the minute she leaves the fucking show, am entertained by Britt Baker more so than almost any other female wrestler. There was a time where Bianca Belair did that, but I think right now, front running, she's not as good as she was. Not that she won't get back there, but when Britt Baker's on TV, I don't know the X's and O's enough to know. You know, the argument is when I say, and it'll happen again on this episode, because I'll cut this clip, I'll put it up, and everybody's going to tell me, oh, fucking Britt Baker can't wrestle. I don't know, because I'm not examining it through that lens. I don't know if she does the suplex the right way. Right? I don't know if she jumps off the ropes right. What I do know is every time Britt Baker comes on TV, I pay attention. Mm-hmm. And that to me goes a lot farther than FTR, who when they come on TV, I can appreciate everything they do. I can see that they put over the good guy, right? Awesome. I can see that they're good strikers. Awesome, right? But you have no personality. You're extremely vanilla. You don't cut promos that excite me. And I get it. You have to understand there's two different fan bases. This is why when people try to make the argument, oh, you know, D, you're not a casual fan. This is why I am a casual fan, right? Is because I can still see through this lens of fucking who is over because of character and who is just a wrestler that I can't understand why are people calling FTR the best wrestlers in the world? Or not the best tag team in the world. I don't get it. To me, the Usos are the best tag team. It's not like if you line up the Usos next to FTR, I don't get that comparison. I don't understand how we're making the comparison there. I understand what people see in them, but I don't in FTR, but I can't draw the line between them.
I'd agree with you.
MJF cut a promo. We got our first MJF promo. And it was long, man. It was long. That was too long. Like, I don't get it. He came out there and then he cut the promo and it was very, very long. And I lost interest about 3/4 of the way through because it was just like, I don't want to say MJF's one-dimensional, but he feels a little one-dimensional, right? Everybody goes, he's so good on the microphone, but is he? Because he's just abrasive. Like he just purposefully goes against the grain and what the crowd wants and tries to say offensive stuff. Like, Bruno Sammartino will turn over in his grave. Like, all right, cool. He's dead. Like anytime you talk about a dead guy, you're going to get, but you're going to get a reaction when you talk about a dead person. And it's just that most people don't fucking want to say that. He says it, but it does feel a little one-dimensional. If the real plan, him coming out and saying is, I'm not going to wrestle very often, is the plan, Jesus, how fucking bad is AEW missing the idea of, like, we are not in the stage of like treating our stars like Roman Reigns in special occasions. MJF should be plastered on every fucking cup, every magazine, every Dynamite. MJF should be wrestling. They should be building him up as a credible wrestler, winning credible matches, and make him feel like a big deal. If MJF just comes out week after week and does MJF, the ratings are not going to move. The people are going to have the same complaints they had before. He doesn't wrestle. He doesn't wrestle extremely well. He's cowardly. And that doesn't serve well for a guy coming off of Jon Moxley, who is basically the man's man. Yeah. Fight anybody, crazy. To then a contrast of here's MJF and he's kind of a pussy.
They call him a little Mitch.
Yeah. Like he's just a nerd boy. Right? He's quiet.
I mean, I didn't always watch wrestling, but like, did the champions used to like wrestle a lot? Because I only know like Roman Reigns really is kind of my thing, and like he's like an occasional fighter. So I can equate it back to some of the better runs. The Miz, when he was champion, wrestled a lot. John Cena wrestled a lot. They were all over your team. John Cena was one of those like oversaturated, and that's what made him polarizing, right? Was he was just always in your face. Roman Reigns even wrestled a lot up until this, it's more of a recent thing where him. We talked about like where he said, I'm shutting it down. I'm slowing down. Now, Roman's starting to fucking show up again because I think he realizes, this is what I do. But
But I don't know that he needs to. Roman doesn't need to
or at least
wrestle.
be there and be present and stuff like that.
When
Like,
you're
that's-
800 days into a title run, you don't have to wrestle as much.
Yeah.
When you've just won the title and you go, I'm only going to wrestle at special events. And then your first match is against fucking Ricky Starks.
yeah.
Like, that's a bad start.
People, I don't really like Ricky Stark. People might not like me. I don't care.
Everybody gets to have an opinion on who they like and don't like. I don't think that's fair. I don't like you because you don't like Ricky Starks. But I think it's fair to say that, like, why the fuck is Ricky Starks in the title picture with you got Bryan Danielson, you got Jericho, you've got all of these guys that are over with the crowd, and you go, Ricky Starks is the guy we're going to feed to MJF. It feels to me like when CM Punk was champion in WWE and John Cena was still the main show, but they let CM Punk walk around with the title just to kind of appease.
You think Ricky Stark is there like...
No, not Ricky Starks. I think Jericho's still the main show. I think Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks are obviously still the main show.
Yeah.
If they're main eventing the Dynamite, they see themselves as it's just weird. And then there's this idea of William Regal and William Regal being written off of TV and being put into this major storyline, knowing that he possibly was going, like, Tony Khan had to know a couple weeks ago that William Regal had a plan to go back to WWE. Right? I mean, if everything we read is to be true, William Regal knew for the last couple weeks that he was done and he wanted to go back to WWE, which is where his son is. His son is in NXT. So it makes sense, right? He can be around his family. He can do these things. He was done. I think he had an option in his contract to opt out. He's opted out. So then why would you put that guy into the biggest storyline you have on television? What the fuck are you doing, Tony Khan? Like, how are you're just booking yourself into trouble. And I guess he thought that MJF was going to just build up this nasty heat from taking William Regal out, but I don't see it that way. I see William Regal leaving with all this intensity, and he's going to bring that over to WWE. It just doesn't, none of that makes sense. Then we got to talk about this Triple B.
Yeah.
What is it? The Big Burberry belt? Is that what he's calling it, right?
I don't know.
It was fucking ugly. It was ugly. And I don't know, is that by design? Is he trying to have a big, because it's not even gaudy in the sense of like, it looked very Western to me, is the take I got. And MJF's not a Western character. The brown leather, the Burberry didn't really stick out. The gold was nice and shiny and gaudy, but like from a merchandising standpoint, that belt is expensive. It's not like the WWE belts. WWE has a manufacturing that they can get those belts. You can get them for $199, right? When you go on AEW.com, it's like $400 to buy that belt.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So now you have everybody going that has that other belt. They go, what the fuck? Now I either have to go get another belt or my belt doesn't look right. And I know we're probably going to go back to that belt eventually.
Yeah, it was probably like a special edition.
But I'm under the belief that MJF's going to be a champion. I think the only way for him to be successful is like a year. He needs a year-long title run. So that's a long time to be carrying around that big, gaudy, ugly belt. Like it just wasn't.
I mean,
pretty.
there was a lot that went into it, so you know.
And it's just like day one, he gets to change the belt. It's like a lot of that just felt like, to me, it felt like a rushed situation. I think he should have had a couple title defenses before he came out and said, now I'm ready to make this belt mine. Most wrestlers who've had custom titles, it wasn't day one.
Well, I'm gonna agree with you. If they did give him his own belt, they are kind of saying like we're gonna keep him for a while. Right?
It feels like you have
why
to,
would you
right?
put all that creative energy into it for nothing?
It doesn't. And if he's not gonna wrestle, like here we go. It's Roman Reigns 2.0. Except that I don't think MJF has the clout that Roman Reigns has to be able to get. You know, Roman gets a little bit of a pass at 800 days. He feels like a marquee
because you
event.
have people chanting his name even if he's not there. You know, I don't know if people have ever just chanted for MJF just cause.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
You know?
I don't know enough about AEW, but I don't know if people clamor for him
I
when
really
he's
don't
not
know.
around.
Like for sure.
And then last, I'm not going to talk long about this, but the best of 7 between the Young Bucks and the Death Triangle, that's fucking lazy booking, man. We're going to get the same match fucking 7 times. At least 6 times, but
Well, we
7
gave it
times.
a clever name.
Yeah, you know what we're going to do? Instead of, and this is to me, like I talked about this when they came back, this is the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega going, look at us, look, we didn't win the title day one, but instead of just one match, we're going to do 7 matches for the title. Like, what the fuck? This isn't the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
7 consecutive matches that are literally all the same thing. It's just high spot, high spot, high spot, high
I was
spot.
kind of look forward to you telling me that, like, did you miss this during the match? That they did this? That they did that? They do any?
Those matches are clusterfucks. They just fucking flip, jump, kick. There's a hammer involved. They've got the world's smallest fucking hammer in that match. They keep hiding it. Like, how do the fucking Young Bucks not know that they're going to bring that hammer? Bring a fucking nail or something. You know, bring a counter to the hammer, but it's 2-1.
a nail.
It's 2-1. So we've got fucking at least 3 more weeks of this shit, and it'll be in San Antonio. I'm not going.
I'm not going
if that's what we're doing. All right, let's talk about something from the internet here, Lauren. From the internet, BT Sport, which is my new fucking favorite Instagram account.
Okay.
I mean, they post just cool, like I like things that make me think. And they post all these cool little, like, graphics that say, like, event of the year. Yeah. And so it's asking, what is the event of the year? And this is WWE.
Okay.
As far as WWE goes. It got me thinking, like, I look at these events. WrestleMania Saturday. Let's talk, and let's just break it down from really kind of the main event, I think, is what I look at these from.
Okay.
So Saturday's main event was Kevin Owens and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Big deal. I liked that. It's one I kind of forget. Clash at the Castle. Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns.
Another good one.
That was another really good one. Elimination Chamber, which I don't remember very well, which means it's not, but
no, if you don't remember it, it wasn't that great.
Did Bobby Lashley win the title that night?
Is that the one where he jumped off?
That's the one where Theory jumped off the top. So
yes,
did Brock win?
And Brock Lesnar. I think Brock Lesnar
did
won.
Did Brock win? I don't remember.
If I remember correctly.
SummerSlam, which is Brock and Roman, where they lifted up the ring.
Uh-huh.
WrestleMania Night 2 was Roman and Brock.
Okay.
The main event.
Wait, when did Cody come back?
Night 1.
So Saturday.
That was when we were there. Saturday.
Okay.
Survivor Series War Games, which just happened.
Which was neat.
Royal Rumble, and there's Extreme Rules, which I don't even think belongs on this list. I thought that was one of the worst. I still think SummerSlam to me was the event of the year.
Really?
Oh, well, so you have to go back and think of it from multiple factors, right? That was right after the Vince thing.
True.
So Vince gets ripped out and Triple H gets thrown in, and we go, if you remember, there was a lot of talk that it was going to be a bad event.
And we were pleasantly surprised at how good it was.
You got McAfee versus Corbin, which wasn't bad. McAfee's entrance was cool. That was a Logan Miz, which was pretty good. You got
we were like surprised that he was able to do all that
Becky
shit.
Bianca opening the show, which was a really good match that ended with Damage Control and Bayley returning and Becky turning babyface.
And that's where she got hurt.
That was my favorite match favorite premium live event.
See, mine was definitely WrestleMania Night 1.
Well, we were there. That's a little
maybe
skewed.
Because we were there a little bit.
It's a little skewed if we were there.
Cody came back and Kevin Owens and that was amazing.
I won't fight you on that. It was the Usos versus Shinsuke and Bobby Roode. Not Bobby Roode. Shinsuke and Rick Boogs.
Rick Boogs, he fucking just went down.
He fucked his knee up or his leg up. Then it was Drew McIntyre versus Corbin where he cut the ropes.
Charlotte's boobie came out.
That did happen.
It did happen.
It was Becky.
They came in the car. Remember?
Becky and Bianca
we saw the hidden car.
Right?
We're like, what is that?
Yeah. That was
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
That was
that's fine.
What I think about it.
That's my vote.
You're going there. I go SummerSlam though.
Okay.
All right, let's quickly talk about a couple things you might have missed this week, Lauren. So earlier in the week, and I believe I've uncovered that the podcaster JD from New York started this, but there was a hashtag Fire Ronda Rousey trend that went on Twitter.
Okay.
I've never been one big, and if you watch his podcast, he basically does what I thought I was going to do when I started, and it's just when I started podcasting, I thought, just scream at everything, right? And just like take everything and just dial it up to 11, have no fucking sensical logic, just fucking scream and like call for people to be fired. You can't, like, this is people's livelihood. Fire Ronda Rousey. Like, I'm okay with
They got it going though, right?
I'm like good with hashtag take Ronda out of the main event. Hashtag let Ronda get some more training, but like fire Ronda, that's such an overreaction to what's going on. She tweeted at Sasha Banks something to the extent of like, you know, I'm still here while you ran away. But she's a bad guy. That's what she's supposed to do.
Building character.
Exactly.
So.
We sit and talk shit about like she's not great on a microphone. She's not great in the ring. So maybe she's got to step it up on like social media and do things to get people,
Maybe she's
get
like
some heat.
Like a Twitter queen.
I guess. Yeah. There was that. There was a backstage altercation between Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns.
You told me about that.
Yeah. So, and I've seen mixed reactions on this. A lot of people go, which makes me laugh. There's a lot of people whose answer to this was, well, he's a professional wrestler. You're just supposed to, you got to roll with that. When you're a police officer, you don't want to get fucking shot. Like, I get that there are casualties of the job, but like when a police officer gets shot, I'm sure he's pissed off.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's not excited about it.
Well, especially if it's friendly fire.
Even if it's not friendly fire, you're still going to be pissed off. There's emotions that people have. When someone slaps you and it's not planned and it fucking...
You told me, you said...
In the side of the head, it hits your ear starts ringing. It definitely hurts. I've been hit in the ear. That's
You
possibly...
like to be touched in the face.
I don't like to be touched in the face 100%, but I've been slapped in the ear before. It throws your equilibrium off. You ring... Like, it's like, this is a funny thing. When you play Call of Duty and someone throws a fucking flashbang in the room, it's that feeling, right? It's like, you kind of are lost for a minute. So like, yes, you get to be mad, and Roman Reigns gets to leave a receipt on this one. I believe
it's a natural reaction.
If they wrestle at Royal Rumble, pay close attention. Roman Reigns is going to slap the fuck out of Kevin Owens at some point. And you might even get a chuckle or something, but like he's gonna return the favor. That's wrestling, man. You might have missed. There's reports that there's gonna be a pitch black match at Royal Rumble for Bray Wyatt.
What the hell is a pitch black match?
No more information than that.
Right.
We just got that information.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's some kind of match where. This is wild speculation. This is just me guessing.
All these things go through my mind right now.
Well, here's what I'm thinking that this could work.
Okay.
If it's, I believe it's going to be, I don't know why I wanted to say MJF. What is our guy? LA Knight.
Okay.
LA Knight versus Bray Wyatt. But I think that LA Knight may be fighting multiple versions of Bray Wyatt in that match. So I could see the lights going off and then coming back on, and it's The Fiend. Lights go off, lights come back on, it's Bray Wyatt. Lights go off, go on. Now it's the what was the original? What did they call themselves? Wyatt family, yes. Bray Wyatt. I could see in the pitch black match the lights shutting off and coming back, and we have multiple variations of Bray Wyatt.
That would be pretty cool. I don't know why I like night vision goggles.
But that's San Antonio, man.
That popped in my head.
Night vision goggles.
Yes. Like we were just going to see night vision cameras.
So wait, in your envision of a night vision goggles.
Yeah.
Does everybody in the crowd, is it like night vision night where you show up and they hand you a pair of night vision goggles? Or do just the two wrestlers and everybody else in the arena is just sitting there in the dark for 15 minutes?
Everybody else in the arena is in pitch black and just the audience has night vision goggles and the wrestlers.
The audience, you meaning
like
television
us watching
audience.
on television audience, yes.
Gotcha. Don't think that works. I don't think it works.
That's why I said there's just all these things going through my mind right now.
Ryback accused MJF of taking steroids.
Why?
Number one, fucking Ryback looks like a walking steroid. Like, I don't know. I don't know anything about steroids. I've never taken steroids, so I don't know anything about them. I don't know what they do to you. But if I had to pick between the two guys and who I think does steroids, I would guess that Ryback has done a steroid and maybe takes one to know one. But like, MJF has bulked up, but also at a certain point in time, somebody who is as passionate about the business as MJF, there had to be a certain point in time where someone said to him, you got to just, you got to have to look the part.
We've talked about that all the time, that like, if this is going to be your craft, you got to put 100% into
Angelo
it.
Dawkins.
Yeah.
Did you see Angelo Dawkins?
Yeah.
Fucking dude looks phenomenal. Like, he was a little bit of a chonker about a year ago, and he moved well for a chonker.
Yeah.
But, like, he showed up. Like, Montez was the guy who was hurt. But Angelo walked through that thing. I was like, oh, this is going to be a problem because that dude was already athletic, and now he's, like, taking his body seriously.
Yeah.
Same with MJF. Like, why is it, what is this, like, impossible belief that, like, if wrestling is all he has to do, that he wouldn't at some point go, I gotta get bigger. I gotta eat right. I gotta treat my body right. And he seems to be a guy who is obsessive about being one of the best in the business. So when you're not physically gifted with height,
wasn't he like in musical theater or something?
he was a like choir student or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying when you're not physically gifted in height, I say this all the time. Big E, right? Kevin Owens. If you're not gonna be tall, you got to get wide.
Yeah.
You got to get shoulders. You got to get arms. You got to get a chest.
Big,
but he's not. He's not that
very
tall.
No.
I saw Bobby Lashley.
But in my mind, it is.
Bobby Lashley was talking to Sheamus, and Bobby Lashley was going, the way that he gets to appear so big is he works his back. And it's interesting because then I started looking at this. He goes, you have 2 or 3 muscles in your chest. He goes, and everybody works those out. So everybody's chest looks the same. He goes, but I work every muscle in my back. And he goes, and it makes me have this appearance of being huge. And he goes, it thickens my body from front to back. Oh. Which makes me look huge. And I thought that was interesting. Sheamus
does look really big too.
Sheamus does these cool videos now, like workout videos. He's done one with Liv Morgan. He's done one with fucking, just side note, Liv Morgan. He had Liv Morgan on. Dude, she's crazy. Why? Like cool, like funny,
Why?
crazy.
What did she do?
So he asked her, like, what's the worst song on your playlist to work out to? And she's like, I don't have a playlist. She goes, I just hit Spotify Shuffle. And he's like, okay, but like, what would be the worst song that you've worked out to? And she goes, the sad song from The Grinch. That like Cindy Lou Who sings.
Oh, good morning,
and she's just
Christmas.
dead serious. I'm just like, whoa. She's just a different person.
Oh, man.
And I can respect all that.
I mean, to not have a playlist, everybody has some sort of playlist or like,
I agree. I don't like, but just maybe that's just her. She's just kind of happy to be there. Last thing that's happening is Eric Young of Impact Wrestling is apparently done with the company. And normally I wouldn't even touch an Impact story, but I thought you would get a kick out of this.
Okay.
He was the leader of Sanity in NXT. So he's coming back to WWE. So he had to be written off of AEW television.
Okay.
I mean, Impact television.
Okay.
They killed him. They murdered him off of television.
How do you murder somebody off? Like, did he literally die?
So I haven't. So anybody who listens to this show, if you watch Impact Wrestling, feel 100% free to correct me in the comments because I'm about to try to explain.
Okay.
All I've ever watched is this one promo.
Okay.
So they're dealing with something called the sickness. Okay, it's like a horror movie.
Okay.
They're in a interrogation room, sitting across from each other. It's him and some other dude who like is his apprentice, right? Okay. And there's a shank. It's a fucking like blade wrapped in tape sitting in the middle of the table. Basically, they go back and forth. They're like, what would you do if the sickness was in this room? Would you kill it? Would you do anything you ever have to do? They go back and forth. Eventually, they both reach for the knife. There's a struggle. One dude gets the knife. Then the other dude gets the knife, stabs him.
Okay.
Dude, they never show that dude again, which is the guy, Eric Young. And the other guy sits down with the bleeding knife. So like they're insinuating that this dude is dead, and now he's just gonna show up in WWE next. Yeah. But like, fucking shout out to Impact for taking it all the way.
Yeah, they just said fuck it.
But I'm okay with this because that's what wrestling is. When I talk, like, maybe I'm missing out not watching Impact Wrestling.
I know this is a dumb question. I don't even know what Impact Wrestling is.
It's old TNA wrestling.
Okay.
It was before AEW. It was the alternative. Like AJ Styles came from there. There's been lots of guys.
Come on.
I don't know.
Okay, well, that would be a good thing for us to find out.
Maybe we need to watch one and talk about it.
Okay.
There's so much wrestling we have to watch in a week that I don't really want to get into the business of reporting on Impact Wrestling. I just thought that like when I read this, I was like, they killed him off.
Yeah.
But I was like,
I kind of
like that. Like I like when in a time where like AEW and Triple H are stripping personality out of your show, fucking Impact was like, let's fucking murder a guy.
Mm-hmm. I will say when we briefly watched NXT, I liked those parts.
NXT has a lot of personality.
Like we watched the last part of the wedding with Dexter Loomis and stuff. I know exactly what's going on.
That's interesting, and I've never thought about that. NXT has a ton of personality.
Yeah.
So why is Triple H stripping personality out of the main roster? You've got the Pretty Deadly. They have personality.
You have the tree people.
Schism has personality. Yeah. There's
the girl who is the pajama girl.
Yeah,
I like her.
All this personality. Like, so I don't know if she can really
wrestle, but I like to see her.
But that's exactly right. Right. Sometimes you can mask not being able to wrestle with just some cool, cool gimmick work.
Yeah.
And then Eric Young. Last thing on him, I don't know if he's coming back to work like behind the scenes, but with Nikki Cross changing back into her crazy phase, it would be fun to have some kind of like
Young
was the leader of Sanity.
Okay.
Well,
I
most
probably
of the other
will know who he is by his face. Maybe. I don't know.
No, you'll have no clue.
Okay.
I didn't even know who he was.
Okay.
Most of the other people from Sanity are gone, but to me, that group, just from a nostalgia point, would work because they all wore like bandanas and stuff. You could insert 3 new wrestlers into that group and give them an immediate push.
Yeah.
3 guys that like you wanted to build up quickly. You can insert them in with that theme song. Let Eric Young lead them and Nikki Cross be a part of it. And that's an instant push for like 3 people that you want to build up.
All right.
All right, Lauren, let's finish off with 20 questions.
Okay.
I dug a little deeper into the rock. Now, I saw you studying before we started the show.
No.
You were looking at your phone. You were looking at rosters. So I'm going to work on a new rule set because I think there should be a point system. If you get it within 10 questions, you should get 3 points. If you get it within 2 questions, 15 questions, 2 points, and 20 questions, 1 point. And then I think what it is based on if you hit a certain number, we should have some kind of challenge.
Okay. Like I have to do or something?
Yeah.
I'm down for it. I like a challenge.
I know you are. Okay. So here we go. 20 questions.
One challenge. Here I go. Round 2.
Yeah, right. All right. Here we go.
Okay.
20 questions.
Okay.
Starts now.
Is it a boy?
Yes.
Do they have blonde hair?
No.
Do they have brown hair?
I have a hard time differentiating brown and black hair.
Okay. So do they have dark hair?
Yes.
Okay. Do they have a beard?
No.
Are they on Raw?
No.
Okay. No beard, right?
No. That's 5.
Are they bald? Wait, no, they have brown hair. Okay. Are they African American?
No.
Are they white?
No.
Are they... I'm going to say it wrong.
Asian?
Yes.
Damn, this makes me feel stupid. Yes.
Okay. So when I say, are they Polynesian?
No.
Okay. Were they involved in the 24/7 championship?
Not when we were watching television.
Okay.
So I don't know pre that. I can't tell you. That's 10.
Ooh. Okay. Do they speak English?
Yes. 11.
Were they on SmackDown last week?
No. 12.
Do they wear panties? You know what I mean by the panties.
No.
Okay. Do they wear pants?
Yes.
Okay.
It's 14. 5 questions and an answer.
Have I ever seen them?
Yes. 15.
Okay.
I'm getting you this week.
I think so.
Because I don't think you're not on a trail yet, and that's a problem at this point.
Do they have a partner? Are they part of a group?
Yes, 16.
Okay, they're part of a group. They have brown hair. They're Asian. They have a beard.
Hold on, let me clarify.
Are you leading me in the right direction?
Well, I got to clarify one thing.
All right, so Asian, beard, brown hair.
Yes, I was correct.
Correct on what?
Asian.
Asian.
Yes.
And they're part of a group.
Yes.
Are there girls in the group with them?
No, that is 16.
Okay.
You have 3 more questions.
It's a boy group. They're Asian. They're on SmackDown.
Uh-huh.
They're not Polynesian, so they're not the bloodline.
Nope.
They weren't part of the 24/7, so it's not Tazawaka or whatever.
Nope.
Were they ever with Rick Boogs? He speaks English, though.
Yeah, no. I mean, they could have like tag teamed with him at some point, but no.
All right, so it wasn't Shinsuke.
Oh yeah, no, it's not. It's not Shinsuke.
Is he young? And when I say young, like under 30.
I don't know his age. I'm guessing no.
Did he used to be a football player?
No, that's 19. You have one more question. Do you want me to answer the age thing? Because that would be your last question. So is he under 30?
Yes.
No. That's it. That's 19. You have to guess on your 20th. You are not on any trail. You probably could put this together. Somebody who's listening picked up on something, the Asian part, I think, and got it.
Asian. The only Asians I can think of are Shinsuke Nakamura and Tawazaka.
Mm-hmm.
It's Austin Theory.
That's your guess?
Yes.
No, Shanky.
Damn. He's an Asian?
So India is on the continent of Asia. So you are an Asian.
I would have never guessed that one.
So that's why I was iffy on that answer.
That was a good one.
I knew it was.
Very
I knew
good.
that
He has a beard?
No, I didn't say he had a beard.
I thought you said he had a beard.
I said brown hair. You never said a beard.
I asked if he had a beard. One
And
of
I
my
said
questions.
no.
Might have to roll back the tape there.
Dude, I said no.
Roll back the tape.
I said he didn't have a beard.
I still wouldn't have gotten it.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
You weren't in the ballpark of that one.
Nah. He wasn't even on my radar. Like in my research that I did before this, he wasn't there.
I knew, so I had to stop. So you got 0 points this week. We're starting fresh. December, first show, 0 points. How many points do we think you need to get in order to be?
Hold on 1 second.
Are you going to get your belt? You son of a bitch. What does this have to do? You can't even put it on correctly.
That's all right. I just needed to sit here for a minute.
You had this whole thing planned and you couldn't even put the belt on correctly. You were trying to slide it on backwards.
You know what?
Huh?
This is all that matters right here.
Stop. That's not what we're talking about.
It's all that matters right here.
It does matter. I'm mad about that. Okay. But what we're talking about right now is 2, 4, 6, 8, 7 points. 7 points seem fair. That means you would have to get 2 3 weeks and then 1 week.
Okay. And what do I do if I get to 7?
If you get to 7, you're free of a challenge. If you don't get to 7, I get to post a poll on YouTube for some sort of challenge.
All right, I'll do it. I'm down.
All right?
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. Just acknowledge me, though.
I'm acknowledging you. You're the one right now.
All right.
That is it for this week's show. Make sure to tune in weekdays for more amazing WWE and AEW. Oh, I had one more thing I wanted to talk about. Fuck, I forgot. Okay, hold on. Let me kind of gather my thoughts here because I don't have it written down. One thing I want to do. We hit top 55 again for the podcast, for the audio podcast. Stop rubbing that creepily. So we hit top 55 again for the audio podcast, audio version show. If you watch this show on YouTube, do me a favor just this week. I want to do this for fun, just this week.
Okay.
iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, just let the show play one time on your phone. You don't have to listen to it. Just set your phone. You do it. I'll do it. Everybody do it. Hit play and let's see how many audio downloads we can get. I want to fucking get up that list, and I want like Jim Cornette and them to be like,
Who's this guy?
What the fuck is happening? Damn. Who is this guy?
Who is it?
I just want to creep up the list one time and have everybody look around and be like, what is going on? So if you
do you
watch
have to listen to it or actually download it?
I think you just have to listen to it.
Okay.
A download in podcasting just means someone listened to your show.
Okay.
And I don't even know how long you have to listen to register as but like if you're watching TV, just turn your volume down on your phone and hit play. Let it play through one time. And I just want to see, because right now, like I get the way we do the show, we fragment the audience. We get 350 views, full watches on YouTube, and we get like 350 on Spotify. So if we could convert just for 1 week, I'm not asking people to do this forever. It's not, it's more for fun just to see what we can do. You can get. I want to see like if we can convert those 350 over and get 700 on just where we end up. If we can hit like top 20, top 10, if we can just confuse those charts in iTunes for 1 week. I see you looking at your belt. Well, okay, that's it. Anybody who made it this far into the podcast, please, if you're a video watcher, just let it play through one time on your phone. One time. It's Spotify, iTunes, or Google Play. Doesn't matter. Any one of those. All right, and then make sure to tune in weekdays for more amazing WWE and AEW wrestling podcasting content. As always, I am the Notorious Nerdy D. That is your champion. Level up, Lauren. Ring the final bell. Ding, 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 ding.
Step in the ring, if you ready, let's go. Hey, casual wrestling community show. You already know, talking WWE. Keep it rolling and hosted by Notorious Nerdy D. Don't for sure that you gon' find. Tune in cause it's online. Hit 'em with a figure 4 leg lock, power driver or clothesline. We bringing that heat like the show, but you